It's Cincinnati Star. I'm Julie with Jason Grace here today. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Julie. It's good to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
Are thrilled that you're here. And I know you've been around for a little bit, but still, we've got
What's
new
that supposed to mean?
Like, what, a year or two? I'm just kidding.
There was a review recently that called me a veteran artist. I'm like, wait a second. I'm not ready to be a veteran artist. It's not been that long.
You didn't care for that too much?
No.
Well, wait till they start calling you an icon. Then you'll feel really old. But that'll be nice, right?
Well, let's hope.
Well, so we've got new listeners all the time who may not know your backstory at all. So kind of give us a little bit of that.
Would you like me to hum
where are you from?
Some of my older songs?
Exactly.
Might
give us a medley right now. No, where are you from?
Okay, I won't do that.
How'd you get started? All that kind of thing.
I grew up in Minnesota. And I was in youth ministry, and I guess I started out by playing at, youth lock-ins, overnighters, spaghetti feeds. I was doing that, and I was also playing in coffee houses and a couple bars here and there and stuff like that. And so I was always kind of on two tracks, and then kind of combine them, I should explain too, if you've never heard me before, I do have a speech handicap, so which was complicated as I was growing up and as I began to be aware of God's calling on my life, and I used to argue with him about it, saying, Lord, you can't make me your spokesperson until you make it so I can speak, and I don't know if you've ever had this experience or not, but when you tell God that he can't do something, it's kind of like a dare that he can't resist, right? And so, hey, that's why I do what I do, because I lost a dare with the Lord, I wanted everyone to know that, so they aren't worried that you're making me anxious as the interviewer or anything like that. So Julie's great, everybody. It's just what I do.
I'm glad that, thank you for clarifying that. So did you, it makes it sound like then you knew from a very early age that you wanted to do this, sing?
Yeah. I grew up on the road with my mom's bar band. And so I was always around music, and there were painful things in my childhood. I spent a lot of time alone in my room, and music kind of became this intimate companion and a comfort to me, So very early on, I was drawn to music, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of it. I remember walking home as a third grader and having a sense that I think music is what I'm supposed to do with my life, And so I feel very grateful that I knew that early on, There's a quote I love by Frederick Buechner. He says, "The place that you are called to is where your deep gladness and the world's deep hunger intersect."
Wow.
Isn't that a great quote?
That's pretty awesome.
And I feel very blessed that I had a sense of what that was very, very early on in my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, so this next question, can you tell us, you sort of maybe have alluded to it a little bit, but what has been a huge challenge in your life, either years ago or maybe currently, and if you can answer how you're coping with it, and it might give somebody else encouragement how they can cope with whatever challenge they've got going on right now too.
Cool, yeah. I'd say the biggest challenge underneath all the other challenges is always telling myself the truth, because I had the speech handicap, and yet I still felt a calling on my life. So what am I going to do, And so very, very early on, I guess I thought, I can see how this is going to go. What's going to happen is I'm still going to do this thing. I'm going to step out in faith, and God's going to see that, and he's going to be pleased, and he's going to heal me. I can see it all now, And so very early on, I started doing that. I was like, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to step out in faith. And then I stuttered horribly anyway, and went through a season where I was very disillusioned and confused and kind of angry with God about that, like, hey, I'm here, I'm doing my part, I'm stepping out, like in Indiana Jones, right? He steps out and I'm doing the thing, what are you doing? And it didn't seem like he was doing anything. And I remember one of my first shows very early on, I was playing at a coffee shop in the town where I lived, and I stuttered so horribly that night, and I got done, and there was no place to go, like no green room to hide in, right? So I just got to stay out there, and I have to meet people, and I just didn't want to because I was embarrassed and humiliated. Okay, I've got to do this. And then a line formed, and everybody who came through the line thanked me so much for doing what I did in spite of my speech handicap, you know, and that it helped them to see that there were things that they felt like they were supposed to do in their own lives, and they'd been making excuses, and they thought, you know, if you can do this, then I got to do what I'm supposed to do too.
That's awesome.
And that was when I began to understand that maybe this was a gift. The way I would articulate it would be like, you know, don't worry, God can still use you in spite of your weakness. Mm-hmm. Now, as the years have gone on, I would say I would change my language and be more like, okay, hold on. God will use you because of your weakness, right?
That's great.
Get ready, you know. Okay, so here's a weakness that isn't cool at all, and that I think it makes me feel weak, and I'm embarrassed about it. And it's that I'm still very insecure, and I'm a people pleaser. And all my life, I've wanted to rid those things of my life, you know. And I wrote a new song called "Bring It All," and it's about my realization that either our weakness is where His strength is perfected, or it isn't. As a person who I feel I've been entrusted with things to bring to my audience, my insecurity and my people pleasing has become a gift. It makes me better at what I do, because like when I'm playing a concert, I'm just insecure enough that I can feel it when I'm losing the people in the room, and I want them to like me, right? So I can feel it, you know. And then so I adapt. Like I'll throw in a joke or a different kind of a song, you know, and because I'm an insecure people pleaser. Now, if I were more healed and more whole as a human, I wouldn't care what they thought, right? And I wouldn't be as good of a performer. Mm-hmm. And so my weaknesses are a very important ingredient to God's call on my life, and so it's taken me years to figure out how to accept that and allow the Lord to make good use of it, rather than despising myself all the time, you know, all that kind of stuff. So
I love that. So you're saying that the people pleasing and the insecurity, you literally pray, God, what can you do with these? And you feel like that is your answer.
Yeah.
That is a cool concept. I've never heard of that or anybody say that.
It activates me.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, it tunes me into the people in the room in a way that I wouldn't be tuned into them if I didn't have those things, you know.
That sounds kind of liberating.
Yeah, I know.
So.
It really is. Yeah, cool. There's a line in the song I wrote about it where I say, it becomes a gift the moment you accept it. And so I guess that would be my encouragement. That's helped me, you know, rather than beating myself up about these things. Like if I can accept it, then it becomes a gift.
I'm gonna change direction just slightly. If you had a superhero power, what would it be?
Oh gosh, superhero power. Okay, this would be legit. This is
okay.
Well, okay. I mean,
have you thought about this before? Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay, so my personality is I want to help people. I'm a person of empathy. I want to.
So you would
rescue,
love to be a superhero.
All that kind of stuff. All right. So, but if I turned those things off, which is hard for me to do, if I did, then the other superhero power that I would hope for is the ability to eat as much pizza as I want to without gaining weight.
Wait, I don't know if that qualifies as a superhero
I
power.
don't think
but
I could use that. Yeah.
I think you can. I think everybody would want that.
It's
Either
not a bad
pizza or
idea, though,
cake or
right?
something. Yeah.
It's kind of appealing,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, can we throw in cake too then?
Yeah, well, you
Or do
know.
pizza and cake?
Yeah.
Right.
I love pizza, but I don't eat it anymore, hardly these
Really?
days. Yeah. Okay, so my
That's sad. I'm sorry, Jason.
I know. You know, it's just, it happens to all of us. You get older, your metabolism slows down. I am a veteran artist after all.
Yeah,
right, you know.
you've had a lot of
So,
pizza. You went into a lot of lock-ins.
I know, that's true. Lots of pizza in my day. My favorite food currently, and this is a road hack. So it's hard to eat healthy when you're on the road.
Yeah.
So, what I do these days to eat healthy on the road is I travel with a plastic bowl in my suitcase,
Mm-hmm.
and then I stop at a supermarket and I get yogurt,
Mm-hmm.
3 packs of baby food, vegetable based,
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have asked this.
and then protein powder and peanut butter powder and a little bit of granola, and I stir it all up, and it makes like the best smoothie on the road that you've ever had. It's
I was with
amazing.
you until you said the baby food. I don't think I could
Well,
get that part. Vegetables or fruit baby food?
Well, like if it's apple, corn, sweet potato is one flavor,
Mm.
and then pears, spinach, and peas, and then what's the other one I did? I did apple, beets, purple carrots. Now it's still sweet, like
Yeah.
it tastes like
Yeah.
fruit, you know. And
We should take a poll.
mix
Who
that
would
all
try
up,
this?
and it's so good.
Okay. I've got to know this. Tell us in the comments below. Would you actually try Jason's healthy food concoction with the baby food? Let us know. And we'll let you know the
Okay, sounds
results,
good.
Jason.
I can't wait.
We'll tag you
to
in
hear it.
so you can
Yeah.
see if people support this endeavor or not.
Sounds good.
So tell us about your upcoming release, or tell us about your latest song, Let It. What's the exact title? Let It Go?
Well, you know what? I called
See,
it.
it went right out of my head. I'm sorry.
I called it "Let It Go,"
Oh,
and I like that name. But of course,
Elsa stole
someone
it.
else wrote a song that was pretty big the last few years called "Let It Go." You
Yeah.
know, so in order to kind of
goes that.
stay out of the way of that, we called it "I'm Gonna Let It Go." So,
There you go.
but yeah, it's just a song about how you know, I think God is a gentleman, and He'll never force Himself on us. And the first time I began to recognize that dynamic in my own life was, He says He'll be my provider.
Mhm.
But if I'm going to, if I insist on providing for myself, He won't stop me. He'll say, all right,
Mhm.
if that's how you want to do it, you go ahead and knock yourself out, you know? And then I'll get down that road, and I'm stressed. I'm aware of my bank statement, like every minute of the day and all that kind of stuff, until I recognize I'm doing it and that this is not the way that I want to live, you know. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I've done it again. I want to trust you. If I insist on being in control and managing my life, the Lord will allow me to do that, you know. But the moment when I let go, He steps in, and then I'm on a different plan, you know. So
Well, if we
that's what
give
the
you a
song's
second,
about. Yeah,
could we hear the song? Are you up for
yeah.
playing it?
I've never.
I noticed a guitar over there in the corner.
Yeah, I've never played it live like this before. I'll probably make mistakes, but I
No,
will.
we feel
I'm
honored
willing to
then.
do that for you.
That's
Julie.
awesome. We're excited. All right, so here's Jason Gray with I'm Gonna Let It Go.
Well, this is the first time I've ever played this acoustic. I also have a horrible cold, and also it's kind of a reggae islandy thing, which I kind of don't know how to make happen here. So I'll play it for you now, but only if you promise you'll go listen to it. The recorded version at some point. So all right, but let's see what happens. I also don't know the words yet, so I have to have many disclaimers. All right, here we go. It's hard for me to let go, hard for me to breathe, thinking that I gotta control it all. I can feel my worry and anxiety when it's slipping through my fingers, and I know it. I've been losing my sleep, I've been losing my cool. I can feel my heart go boom, 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 staring at the ceiling, feeling like a fool. I'm going under and I know it, but I hear you whisper to me. If I lose my grip, I could see that you are carrying me. Oh, I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it go. Oh, 'cause if I trusted you, I can move with your flow, being carried in the current of your love. When I lean into your arms, you're enough. So I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it go. Time for me to let go, time for me to breathe, knowing that he already holds it all. Time for me to turn down this anxiety, I can know my freedom in a moment. 'Cause when I lay it all down, you're gonna lift me up. When I pour it all out, you're gonna fill my cup. You're holding out your arms and telling me to jump. 1, 2, 3, here I go, yeah. 'Cause I hear you whisper to me, if I lose my grip, I will see you're always carrying me. Oh, I'm gonna let it, yeah. I'm gonna let it go. Oh, 'cause if I trusted, yeah, I can move with your flow, being carried in the current of your love. When I lean into your arms, you're enough. So I'm gonna let it, I'm gonna let it go. Letting go of my worries, yeah, and my need to control things. I'm gonna take you at your word, and I'm gonna lay down on my burden. Letting go of my worries and my need to control things. I'm gonna take you at your word, and I'm gonna lay down on my burdens. I can feel my heart go boom, I can feel my heart go boom, boom. Oh, I'm gonna let it, yeah. I'm gonna let it go. Oh, 'cause if I trust it, yeah, I can move with your flow, being carried in the current of your love. When I lean into your arms, you're enough. So I'm gonna let it, yeah, I'm gonna let it go.
Wow. I think that when my husband hears that and my program director, they're going to think you wrote that song about me.
Yeah.
Actually, you know,
You're welcome.
thank you. I think a lot of people are going to think that you wrote that song for them.
Oh,
so
good.
that
Well,
was
that's the
awesome.
hope.
Thank you. And Jason, thanks for stopping by and sharing with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having
Hey,
me.
you know what? Jason is a people pleaser. So if you guys like that song, let him know
That's right, please.
below.